And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Flip Wilson.
Well, first I'd like to say that I come from a very, very poor family. Very poor. And my family had nothing. My mother and father were really so poor they couldn't afford to have any children. Lady next door had us. I remember when I was 14, I got that job on a garbage truck. Paid $2 a week and all you could eat. But I blew that because my family was always bringing people to dinner, you know, in a crowd hanging around the truck. I got a job in a picture, made a picture, Hunchback of Notre Dame. I played the hump. I am still going through a state of depression brought on by the fact that last Sunday I attended the funeral of a very, very good friend. Named George. George died. And last Sunday morning I didn't have anything to do, so I figured that I would go by the funeral parlor with George's wife to see how the undertaker had taken care of the final arrangements. And his wife was very excited, you know. She never had quite a large sum of money like this before. She ran in, and she ran over to the coffin there, and the undertaker had George laid out in a brown suit. She said to him, "How come you have George laid out in brown?" The undertaker said, "Well, lady, I looked through my stock. Brown suits were all I had left, and I figured that George looked pretty nice in brown, so I dressed him in brown." The woman said, "Well, George doesn't like brown." She said, "George likes blue, and George wants to be buried in a blue suit." The undertaker said, "Now, look, lady, today's Sunday. All the stores are closed, so there's no place open to get a blue suit today." And the woman said, "That's your problem. For the money that I'm paying you for this, you're going to do it like I want it done. And I'm going down the street to get some flowers for George, and I'll be gone 5 minutes. When I come back, I want you to have George in a blue suit." Gone. 5 minutes later, she ran back in, ran over the coffin, looked down, and George has a blue suit on. She turned to the fellow. She said, "I thought you said the stores were closed." And the fellow said, "They are, lady." She said, "Well, where did you get the blue suit from?" The fellow said, "Well, right after you left, they brought in another fellow who had split. And he had a blue suit on, so I figured that I'd dress him in George's brown and do George up in his blue." The lady said, "But I was just gone 5 minutes. How'd you change the suits so fast?" The fellow said, "I didn't change the suits, lady. I switched the heads." What I had in mind mentioning was an incident that took place recently when I was returning from Chicago by train. And when I got on the train, I just fell out in the seat there. And I noticed that the woman across the aisle had her baby with her. Ugly baby. Ugly baby. From the other end of the coach came this guy. He was very drunk. And he was staring at the baby. And the woman turned to him, she said, "What are you looking at?" And the guy said, "I'm looking at that ugly baby." I said, "That's a horrible looking baby, lady. Where'd you get that baby from?" And the woman said, "I don't have to take that." And she snatched the emergency cordial, and the train came to a screeching halt, and the conductor came running in. Now, this was his moment. At this moment, he represented the Pennsylvania Railroad. He said, "What's going on here?" And the woman said, "This fella just insulted me." She said, "I don't have to spend my money and ride this railroad and be insulted." She said, "I'd rather walk." And the conductor said, "Calm down." He said, "Calm down." He said, "Madam," he said, "there's nothing that the Pennsylvania Railroad will not do to avoid having situations such as this. That perhaps it would be more to your convenience if we were to rearrange your seating. Let you sit somewhere else in the coach." Said, "And lady, as a small compensation from the railroad, if you will accompany me to the dining car, we are going to give you a free meal." And maybe we'll find a banana for your monkey. I was reading under the vital statistics section on the way down here today that 90% of the Cadillac owners in America say, them white people sure make some sharp cars. Who has a question? You got a question? Come on.
This is a precise question.
Yeah.
How many kinds of body lice are there?
How many kinds? Now how long has this question been bugging you? Recently, I was appearing at a theater uptown, and this elderly woman had come to see the show. And as she was leaving the theater, she went down 126th Street, and there's a fellow was hiding in the alley, had a gun. And as the woman walked by, this guy jumped out of the alley, and he shoved the gun in her ribs. Said, stick 'em up, little old broad. Said, dump that money on the ground. And the woman dumped the purse on the ground. No money fell out. I said, you must have been robbed 20 minutes ago. Said, I know what it is. Said, you got money, but you got it hidden on you. I'm gonna have to search you. Said, get against that wall. Smack! And he hit her with the gun. Said, that's just in case you try to pull some karate on me. And the woman goes over, she stands against the wall, she dumps her purse on the guy and looks again, he pats her all over, he's looking for money, he pats her everywhere. He doesn't find any money. Said, little old broad, said, you haven't got a dime. And the woman says, sir, I don't have anything with me now, but if you'll pat me like that for another 5 minutes, I'll damn sure write you a check. Now, we are going back to the West. How many people know there was a Negro who killed Jesse James? That's right, he was the greatest Negro outlaw of all times. Terrible desperado named Black Bart. What led to this situation between Bart and Jesse was that Jesse James and his brothers were segregationists. Well, Bart decided that he would ride over and discuss this thing with Jesse. Said, Jesse! Come on out of there! Jesse wasn't shook, you know. Jesse came out, he said, yeah, Bart, what's happening? Bart said, Jesse, said, I don't like the way this racial thing's going. And the only solution's for me and you to shoot it out. We're gonna shoot it out now. I'm gonna start counting, Jesse. When I get to 3, draw your gun and start shooting. And they squared away there in the street at each other. Bart stood with his back to the sun to keep the glare of the light from his eyes. And he kind of leaned to the right and tilted for the quick draw. And all the colored people on one side of the street, they're digging. And all the white people on the other side of the street. Bart looked at Jesse and he said, 1! And Jesse flinched. Bart saw it. Bart knew he had to kind of throw Jesse's aim off, so he started weaving. Just kind of confused Jesse a little bit. And he said, 2! And Jesse flinched again and Bart drew his gun and he fired. Bam, bam, bam! Shot Jesse in the stomach. Jesse said, you said we was gonna shoot when we got to 3. Bart said, no, baby. You misunderstood me. I said, when I get to 3, you draw your gun. The president, during many of his press conferences, brought to the attention of the public how dreadfully serious the problem of narcotics has become. I first became aware of the seriousness of this problem while I was in the service. There's a fellow in my outfit who used drugs, a fellow named Jenkins. What happened was, they had to have somebody in the outfit for Chaplin's assistant, and they designated Jenkins. The first day Jenkins reported to the chaplain for duty, he came in zonked. Said, chap, baby, Private Jenkins, report for duty, my man. Whatever you tell me to do, chap, I'm gonna make it. Chaplain said, Jenkins, your first assignment as chaplain's assistant is to go over to Company B and inform Private Fredericks that his mother's died. Phil said, crazy. I said, yeah, baby, I'll go for that. He runs over to the company area, grabs the public address system, and he says, attention, Company B. Private Fredericks, your mother just dropped dead. Chaplain says, come here, Jenkins. So what are you doing? Jenkins, I'm sending you back for additional training. And they sent him back for 4 more months training. At the end of the 4 months, Jenkins came back. He said, Chap, baby, he said, I'm back, man. He said, I'm not like I was last time you saw me. I'm worse. Chaplain said, Jenkins, I'm going to give you another shot at this. I said, shot? Chaplain said, now what I mean is I'm going to give you another chance at the job. But Jenkins, I don't want you to do it like you did it the last time. Do you understand that? So now no more of that. So I want you to go back to Company B and inform Private Johnson that his mother died. I said, okay, man, okay. So I'm going to make it lighten up. So he runs over to the company area, grabs the public address system, all the men are out there in the parade field, and he says, attention, Company B. And all the men come to attention. He says, all men with mothers, take one step forward. Johnson, be cool.